Sunday is decision day in Seattle. The Seahawks and Rams face off for the third time this season, now in a true rubber match, after two extremely close games in the regular season, decided by just 3 points in total, with overtime and victories for the home team in both. The stage is Lumen Field, the atmosphere is playoff-like, and everything suggests another tense, physical, and unpredictable matchup.
Sunday takes us to Seattle, where the Seahawks and Rams meet in a rubber match. They met twice in the regular season, those two games so close. They were only separated by 3 points total. One needed overtime to settle, and the home team won each game. You up for another round? Yes, please. So too is Kimberly A. Martin, who joins us on SportsCenter this morning from Lumen Field in Seattle. I'll answer my first question. Does Kimberly Martin have a hat with her today? Yes, she does. Now I'm going to ask you a question, Kmart. What did Sean McVay tell you about the challenge of preparing for the Seahawks team for the third time this season?
Well, good morning, Randy. So yesterday was Sean McVay's 40th birthday, but when he and I spoke on the phone, he told me he wasn't interested in celebrating the milestone. Instead, he said, as long as we're playing on my birthday, or I'm preparing to play on my birthday, that's all the blessing that I need. And he said, as long as we're doing that, we're doing okay. But beating Seattle for a second time this season won't be easy. I asked McVay about the challenge of facing the Seahawks and their vaunted number one defense, and he said, oh, they're a real pain in the ass to prepare for. He said, but it's a beautiful challenge. We love that challenge, and we love the fact that we have the opportunity and to go through and face this team. But his players are very confident in being quote-unquote road warriors for a third straight week. In fact, their defensive end, Kobe Turner, said the scars that have calloused over a season, the mental fortitude that they've shown in recent weeks is proof that they can outlast anyone for 4 quarters, even overtime. But get this, Kobe Turner said, while Seattle was sitting back with that number one seed, we were out there getting tested week after week after week. And he said, we always talk about we're all we need, we're all we have, and that's good enough. He said, we're going to come into the stadium, and we are going to prove that we are ready for this moment.
Kimberly Martin, this is going to be the first playoff game in NFL history between teams that had 2 games decided by 2 or fewer points during the regular season. So says Randy Scott. Kimberly, thank you. I can't wait to see the hat this morning.
Damian Woody and Herm Edwards are with us now. Kmart is the best of sports. We continue to talk the sport of football with these two, as we get confused for each other all the time. So that's honest. It's usually not on site is the problem.
Can she finally get a warm location?
No,
come on.
She can't.
They won't do it to her.
28 degrees and she's out there no hat, Coach. She's tougher than all of us. Damian, I want to start with you. The key for the Rams today, if they want to win on the road, is what?
On the Rams side, Sean McVay made it clear that there is no room for celebrations, not even on his 40th birthday. The focus is fully on facing the number one defense in the NFL, which he himself described as a nightmare to prepare for, albeit a challenge that the team embraces. Los Angeles enters confidently as road warriors, tested week after week, and bets on the mental resilience built throughout the season. To win, the key point is to protect Matthew Stafford. When he has time in the pocket, the offense with Puka Nacua, Adams, Higbee, and Parkinson becomes extremely difficult to contain. The Seahawks, on the other hand, rely on the formula that has brought them this far: a dominant defense, consistent ground game, and an offensive plan that doesn't require heroics from Sam Darnold. At home, with the fans making a difference, Seattle wants to control the pace and force the Rams into mistakes. For Darnold, however, the game carries extra weight. It's a chance to affirm himself against a coach and quarterback used to big stages in a matchup that could define the narrative of his career.
Protection, man. You got to protect Matt Stafford. And I think that there's 2 names that's going to be key in doing that, and that's Querim Williams and Blake Querim. I think they're going to need to run the ball. You're going to need to run the ball. You're going to need to stay in those manageable down and distances on the road in Seattle. Coach knows this. This is one of the hardest venues to play in. Very hard to hear. Last thing you want to be is 3rd and 8 long, going up against the Seattle front that brings a variety of blitzes and zone pressures and all those type of things. So they need to stay on the field, keep things down in manageable situations, and that means running the football with those two running backs I talked about.
Damon makes a great point, but when you think about this Ram offense, they're really, really tough to deal with when they're throwing the football and Matthew Stafford can stay in the pocket. When you think about Puka, you think about Adams, you think about Higbee, you think about Parkinson. Look at that. That's 35 touchdowns to those guys. You got to run the ball some, but at the end of the day, this is where you make your living.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford sitting in the pocket. If they can block him, if they can just protect him in the pocket, he can get the ball to these guys, and all of a sudden this Seattle team has a problem.
It's going to be it is so hard to run on this Seattle defense. Damien, if Seattle gets the win today, it's going to be because they do what?
Yeah, I think it's going to be because they run the football. And Sam Darnold, they're not asking Sam Darnold to do much. I mean, you think about what the Seattle Seahawks have been doing lately. Okay, they've been playing great defense. Their running game has actually picked up towards the end of the season. Sam Darnold, he's just been more of a manager. Okay, but I think in this game, I think the Los Angeles Rams are going to try to force Sam Darnold to beat them. And that's what we're going to have to see in this game. Can Sam Darnold exercise demons against this Los Angeles Rams defense? Because he's had some problems in the past against this defense. So can Sam Darnold come through in the biggest game to get to the Super Bowl?
Well, D makes a great point. I mean, if you're Sam Darnold, this is a signature game for you.
Yeah.
I mean, you're playing at home. You have an outstanding defense. You've done a great job of getting your team here. Can you get over the hump? Can you beat a guy that's been in a Super Bowl?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At the end of the day, right? That's what it all boils down to now.
Right.
And when you think about Sam Darnold, he's played in a lot of football games. This is one of the bigger games that he's going to play in toward the end of his career, right? I mean, he's getting long in the tooth now. I mean, he's not going to play another 10 years. So he understands, I got a great opportunity right now with this football team.
It's right here. Why not now? Why not right now? Damien and Coach going to be back to preview the AFC matchup. Ain't nobody like Patriots reporter Mike Reese, who joins us from inside the press box at Empower Field at Mile High. An array of snacks just off screen for Mike Reese to get him through the day. Coming off of a 4-13 season last year for these Patriots, Mike, how has Mike Vrabel been able to bring this team together really since the start of training camp?
Well, Randy, you mentioned it. Behind me gives a feel for the view of what will unfold today. But before we get there, I want to share the view of what unfolded when the Patriots first got together months ago, and they had a singular goal of connection, and it was led by Mike Vrabel. For today, quarterback Drake May talked about how powerful it was for him to feel the playoffs the last 2 weeks, specifically the difference that the home crowd can make. Of course, the Patriots were at home the last 2 weeks. May saying he's looking forward to being on the other side of that today. The Patriots like to refer to themselves as road warriors. And Randy, they like to say, we pack our identity.
They pack their identity. Mike Reese packs a full bag of Dots pretzels. Patriots looking to become the 6th team to win the Super Bowl after having 5 or fewer wins in the previous season. Mike Reese covering the Patriots for us on SportsCenter. Thank you, Mike.
From 4 H's to 2, humble and handsome, enter Joe Fortenbaugh. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thanks
as
for
well.
spending time. Drove through the snow to come hang out with us.
Fought the elements just to see Strice.
And to talk about a peculiar line movement, it started at 5.5. It has since gone to 3.5, and you're here to explain why.
Another H for you. History. Let's go back to last week. Look ahead line for this game, Denver -1.5. Bo Nix gets hurt. We adjusted 5.5 to plus 5.5, I should say, which is a 7-point move. Now, a little bit of context for you. When Aaron Rodgers was in his heyday in Green Bay and he would get hurt, that was worth 7 points. Bo Nix, the same thing as Aaron Rodgers, not so much, which is part of the reason why you see Denver money on Wednesday knocking it to 4.5, more Denver money Friday and Saturday knocking it down to where we currently stand at 3.5.
With that said, who do you like in this game? What do you like in this game?
It would be Denver. It would be Denver. It's a smaller bet here. We talked about it all week at 5.5 and 4.5. Now we got to go a little bit smaller. Focal point being Denver, but let's move over to Drake May, Patriot quarterback, MVP candidate. 5 games, only 5 games this year against teams with a winning record. In those 5 games, 4 interceptions, 7 fumbles, 22 sacks. You're going on the road to face a Denver team, number 1 in the NFL in sacks, number 3 in pass rush win rate. They're going to be able to get after it today. New England's defense looked fantastic against the Chargers and Texans, both of which were games at home, both of which were offensive lines that were below average. This is one of the best offensive lines in the league. We do like the Broncos.
Okay, more history, I guess, here. Home team 7-3 against the spread this postseason, and the Patriots 0-4 all-time in Denver in the playoffs. That's the AFC side of things. Let's stay out west. What is your pick? What do you like in Seahawks-Rams?
Another H for you, hubris. We love Seattle here today. That's another.
Everything points to another chapter decided by the details. The Rams and Seahawks have already proven that there is no clear advantage between them, and the recent history only heightens the expectation for a hard-fought game until the end. Perhaps, once again, beyond the 4 quarters, whether it's through the experience of Stafford and McVay or the collective and defensive strength of Seattle at home, this matchup encapsulates the best of what the NFL playoffs have to offer. Balance, maximum pressure, and the certainty that any mistake could be fatal.